Hi folks, in this video we're going to look at the third law of indices, which is if we have x to the power of a number and that is raised to the power of another number, so x to the power of a to the power of b, that is the same as x to the power of those two numbers times together, a times b. Alright, so that means if we've got 5 squared cubed, that would equal 5 to the power of 2 times 3, which is 5 to the power of 6. We can combine that with the previous two laws of indices. So let's say if we've got 3 cubed and that is being raised to the power of 10, and we're dividing that by 3 squared, which is being raised to the power of 7. So we can use the third law of indices to multiply out the brackets almost. It's kind of like that. We're just kind of getting rid of the brackets. We're like expanding the brackets. So the first term would be 3 to the power of 3 times 10, which is 3 to the power of 30. And then we're dividing by 3 to the power of 2 times 7, which is 3 to the power of 14. And then that will equal 3 to the power of 30 minus 14, because when we divide we subtract the powers, so that's 3 to the power of 16. So all of that equals 3 to the power of 16. Alright, let's try a slightly more complicated question where we'll combine all three laws of indices that we've got so far. So let's say we've got 8 to the power of 3 to the power of 4 multiplied by 8 to the power of 5 to the power of 6 divided by 8 to the power of 2 to the power of 5. Alright, fairly big question. First of all, let's use the third law of indices to get rid of all the brackets. So this is 8 to the power of 3 fours, which is 12, times 8 to the power of 5 sixes, which is 30, divided by 8 to the power of 2 fives, which is 10. Alright, next we can add those two powers, the 12 and the 30, so that would be 8 to the power of 42 divided by 8 to the power of 10. And then next we do 8 to the power of 42 take away 10, which is 8 to the power of 32. So all of that is 8 to the power of 32. Alright, now slightly different question, but it doesn't use any other laws of indices. Let's say if we've got something like 9 squared multiplied by 3 to the power of 7 times 27 squared cubed. Okay, now we've got 3 different base numbers here. So what we need to do is consider all of these as powers of 3. At this point it's really important to memorize some of the powers of every number up to 10 really. So for example, that's 2 and then 2 squared, 2 cubed, 2 to the power of 4, etc. For 2 I would maybe go up to like 2 to the power of 10, and then 3 squared, 3 cubed, which is what we've got here, 3 to the power of 4, 4 squared, 4 cubed, 4 to the power of 4, 5 squared, 5 cubed, 5 to the power of 4. I would do that for all of the numbers up to pretty much up to 10, at least get up to like 10 cubed, but maybe try and remember a good chunk of those, because it's important to be able to recognize that 9, 3 and 27 are all powers of 3 to answer a question like this. Specifically, 9 is 3 squared. Alright, so 9 is 3 squared. 9 is 3 squared. We need to replace that 9 with a 3 squared in brackets. So instead of 9 squared, we're going to replace that 9 with a 3 squared. So that has to be squared as well, because that is 9. That's 9 squared. So we need that extra squared in there. So 9 squared is 3 squared squared, because 9 is 3 squared. So 9 is 3 squared. So 9 squared is 3 squared squared. And then we've got 3 to the power of 7. That's already a 3, so we can keep that as it is. And then 27 is 3 cubed. So we need to do a similar thing here. 27, we're going to replace that with a 3 cubed. First, let's get rid of these brackets. 27 squared cubed is 27 to the power of 2 3's, which is 27 to the power of 6. 27 is 3 cubed, so this is 3 cubed to the power of 6. 3 cubed to the power of 6. And now we can multiply out all the brackets again. We can expand all the brackets. We could do 3 squared squared, that's 3 to the power of 2 2's, which is 4. 3 to the power of 7, and 3 to the power of 3 times 6, which is 18. And then we can add all of the powers together to get 3 to the power of 29. And that is, all of that is a power of 3. 3 to the power of 29. Alright, so that is the third law of indices. So x to the power of a to the power of b is equal to x to the power of a times b. Where's it at? There it is, right at the very top. X to the power of a to the power of b is equal to x to the power of a times b. That's the third law of indices.